The Bold and the Beautiful, Brooke's tragic accident, Hope's guilt, and Ridge's heartbreaking choices. In a shocking and tragic turn of events, The Bold and the Beautiful delivers a storyline that will forever change the lives of its central characters. Forrester's recent declaration that he will marry Taylor Hayes has sent shockwaves through the Forrester family and the entire Los Angeles social circle. What was meant to be a new beginning for Ridge and Taylor has inadvertently set off a chain of emotional consequences for everyone involved, including the one person who has been a constant in Ridge's life for so many years, Brooke. Brooke's heart has been shattered by Ridge's decision, and while she initially attempted to hold on to hope, the pain of Ridge's declaration becomes too much to bear. In an attempt to find some solace and a new direction, Brooke decides to leave town and take a long-overdue vacation, encouraged by her daughter Hope. However, things take a terrifying and tragic turn when Brooke's plane crashes and she is reported missing under mysterious circumstances. What was meant to be a healing escape from the turmoil of her life turns into a nightmare, leaving Hope devastated and the Forrester family torn apart. The drama begins when Ridge, after much emotional turmoil, announces his decision to marry Taylor, effectively closing the door on his turbulent relationship with Brooke. Despite the attempts of his father, Eric, to intervene and stop him, Ridge's mind is made up. Ridge's choice is final, and he's determined to marry Taylor, despite the history that he shares with Brooke. For Brooke, this announcement is the final blow. After years of enduring the ups and downs of her relationship with Ridge, after every moment of hope, heartbreak, and reconciliation, she is now faced with the devastating reality that Ridge is moving on with Taylor. As the news sinks in, Brooke finds herself emotionally devastated, unable to cope with the decision that Ridge has made. In an attempt to heal and find peace, Brooke decides to take a step back and leave Los Angeles. Hope, ever the caring daughter, encourages her mother to go. She advises Brooke to take a break from the chaos and the heartbreak, to allow herself to have a fresh start and some time to reflect on everything that has happened. Hope insists that Brooke go to Paris to take some time off, to enjoy herself and to move forward. It's a decision made out of love and concern, as Hope wants nothing more than to see her mother happy again and free from the emotional turmoil caused by Ridge's decisions. Hope imagines this trip will be the fresh start that Brooke needs, a chance to heal, a chance to move on. However, what should have been a moment of peace and renewal turns into a nightmare. As Brooke embarks on her journey to Paris, disaster strikes. The unthinkable happens. Brooke's plane crashes, and she is reported missing under mysterious circumstances. The news spreads like wildfire, and Hope is left in a state of shock and disbelief. She had urged her mother to go, believing that this trip would be a way for Brooke to escape the pain. Now, she finds herself haunted by the thought that her advice may have led to this tragic turn of events. Hope's heart is shattered as she grapples with the possibility that her mother may be gone. The guilt weighs heavily on her. How could she have encouraged Brooke to go, only for something so horrible to happen? As Hope processes the news of her mother's disappearance, she is overwhelmed with grief. Her emotions are raw, and she cries uncontrollably, unable to fathom the possibility of losing the woman who has been her guiding light through every storm. However, in the midst of her heartbreak, Hope begins to direct her anger and pain in a new direction toward Ridge. Hope, feeling that her mother's tragic fate is in some way connected to Ridge's actions, becomes consumed with anger. She holds Ridge responsible, at least partially, for the loss of her mother. If Ridge hadn't made the decision to marry Taylor, if Brooke hadn't felt the need to escape, then perhaps the plane crash would never have happened. Hope lashes out, bitterly accusing Ridge of indirectly causing the situation. Her emotions are a tangled web of grief, guilt, and anger, and she struggles to make sense of the devastating reality in front of her. The Forrester family is thrown into turmoil as the search for Brooke's whereabouts intensifies. The uncertainty surrounding her fate only adds to the emotional weight that everyone is carrying. As news of Brooke's disappearance spreads, questions arise. Is she dead, or is she alive? Did she survive the crash, or has she been lost forever? The mystery surrounding Brooke's fate looms large, and the possibility of her returning to Los Angeles remains uncertain. The situation becomes even more complicated when Ridge is forced to confront the consequences of his actions. He is torn between the woman he has chosen to marry, Taylor, and the woman he has loved for years, Brooke. As the search for Brooke intensifies, Ridge's mind races, filled with doubt and uncertainty. Did he make the right decision? Could he have done more to protect his family and avoid this tragedy? The emotional turmoil that Ridge is experiencing is immense, and he finds himself struggling to reconcile his love for Taylor with the memories and the deep bond he shares with Brooke. The tragedy of Brooke's disappearance forces Ridge to face the painful reality of the choices he has made and the emotional consequences that those choices have on everyone around him. As for Taylor, the situation is no less complicated. She is forced to stand by Ridge's side, even as she watches him struggle with the pain of possibly losing Brooke. While Taylor is supportive of Ridge, she also feels the weight of the situation. She knows that, despite Ridge's decision to marry her, his heart may still be torn between the two women who have shaped his life. Taylor is caught in the middle of a situation that no one could have predicted, and the emotional strain begins to take its toll on her as well. The looming question that everyone is left to ponder is, will Brooke survive? Will she return to Los Angeles to confront the wreckage of her relationships, or has this tragic accident taken her from the people who love her forever? The uncertainty is overwhelming, and as the days pass, the emotional intensity builds. For Hope, the pain of potentially losing her mother is almost too much to bear. The guilt she feels for encouraging Brooke to take this trip gnaws at her every moment. She can't shake the thought that her mother's fate is somehow tied to Ridge's decision, and she becomes consumed with grief and anger. For Ridge, the uncertainty of Brooke's fate is a constant source of turmoil, and his internal conflict only deepens as he grapples with the possibility that he may never see Brooke again. As the search for Brooke continues, the bold and the beautiful keeps viewers on the edge of their seats, wondering what will happen next. Will Brooke survive the crash, or has she been lost forever? Will Ridge and Taylor's relationship survive the emotional strain, or will the bonds of love and family begin to unravel in the wake of this devastating tragedy? The fate of Brooke Logan remains a mystery, and with it comes the future of the Forrester family itself. The coming episodes will reveal whether Brooke will make it out of this crisis alive, and if she does, what kind of future she will face. Will Ridge and Brooke reconcile, or has this tragic event irrevocably torn them apart? The road ahead is uncertain, and the emotional toll of this event will undoubtedly change the course of the bold and the beautiful forever.